This is cool. Blessed Souls Day, all. Give it a few minutes. Wear my cool mask. Fits the video, so I figured why not? I'm not gonna wear it the whole time. It's such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Can't wait to leave the house. Had to do some work first. How are y'all doing? For those of you that are out there in Facebook land. It's been 3 months since my last transmission, just about. I figured I'd come on with a little pizzazz. Why not? For those of you who are at home, hi, Blessed Souls Day. The day of the sun. So, number 16 transmission. I thought it'd be a little fitting to wear my mask. But that's a lot better. How is everyone doing? If there's anyone out there. I know it's a beautiful day. I'm sure everyone is outside, and that's totally great. I'm a little jealous. I'll be out there a little bit. I had a lot of work to get done. I've been MIA. I have not gone live with a transmission video in a while. I've been not going live with a lot of videos in a while. I've been more pre-recording and getting it out there that way. But today I felt, actually yesterday I was going to go live, but I decided to celebrate Beltane a little more secretly and not go live yesterday. So here I am today. Ooh. Just going to wait a few minutes for some people to join. How's everybody feeling? I know that there's a lot of people out there questioning and concerned, and happy 16th transmission video. I kind of feel like I got a little kick in the butt about my transmissions and like, you know, you should listen to them too kind of thing. Because there was definitely some transmission videos I ignored and I had to fix and pay the price. So this one kind of ties in a little bit with the old ones. I just feel like it ties in because it showcases the warnings I feel as those transmission videos are. About the energy coming in, usually it's complicated, a little different. I don't always know exactly what I'm seeing with the transmission sometimes until after, and then the next video kind of explains that a little more. So, the energetic plague. This is what I'm calling it. This is what I've channeled into. This is what I understand it to be. An energetic plague. Personally, I feel I've been channeling this information with my site for 2 years now. There's been multiple prophesized visions and dreams that have occurred that I've spoke to with a few people before I started doing these transmission videos, and they're starting to happen now. I feel that the transmission videos began when it was really in flux and the energy was like really pushing it. So there's like this huge, massive shift shift that's happened, and it's basically like energetic, empathic emotions. Think of it as a big wave coming in and smacking everybody. Almost up-leveling them to it, even if they're not empathic. So it's very overwhelming for a lot. But what came in with this is the fact that with this kind of up-leveling, this energetic, empathic emotions, I solely link to, telepathy. Telepathy is the advanced form of empathic emotions. So an empath that can develop their empathy to an extent, each sense by 1,000. The telepathy ability is in flux. So a lot of that's been occurring. A lot of that has been awakening in people, and they don't understand it. It's a lot of mental barricades happening. There's a lot of energy thieving happening, which is very troubling. But it definitely, to me, is the main cause of this energetic plague. This is something that's been happening, I feel, for the last year and a half, before the whole pandemic thing. I don't think it's happened when... I feel like it began before it, because, of course, with energy, as a seer, I see things prior to other people. So, like, I'll sense things, and then it'll happen whatever time after. Sometimes it's like, think of like a spidey sense, and it's kind of like a dog whistle, type of thing. It's a little freaky. But then when you start seeing the collective catching up to that, it's a little more affirming. So figuring out how to explain that to people is where these videos come along. So basically, the energetic plague that's happened with us, it's causing an evolution of our souls, our evolution of our consciousness. So for us to tap into that telepathy ability, to actually excel to that level of consciousness, we have to rid lower vibrational energies. And as a practitioner, I know that it's an ever-going thing, and you're always doing it. There's always layers. There's always healing to be done. But then there's the layers of cord cutting that's happened over the years that you feel have been severed. Even if you created still a healthy relationship with this person because of, there was no ill will, but there's definitely still something that binds you. So I don't remember what transmission video it is. I might go back and listen to them. My eye's going crazy right now. But I explained your perception of self is key right now, because there's going to be people or energies, not even just physical people. Energies meaning like the spirit realm is a lot more active, things like that. People are becoming more sensitive. Like I said, empathic energy is on an influx. So I explained in that transmission video the kid from Charlie Brown that had the dust all over him, the dirty one, that their energy was almost like a dust cloud around them. And when they were in your vicinity, it was infecting you with that. Well, it's still happening. It's starting to dissipate. The dust is settling. But the problem there is the dust was, I feel like the dust was for a reason. The dust was there to highlight those links and those layers of cords that weren't fully cut, that weren't fully severed. Maybe it was so strong it needs it again. This is something I've noticed with cords that have cut from 20 years ago energy, that you can't move forward if those are lingering. Even if you don't believe they're lingering, you could sense a pull of your energy. Now, what this is for me is what I'm trying to explain to everyone here and give you guys kind of like in the power of discerning and understanding possibilities of what could be happening around you. So basically with this happening, this plague, it's highlighting those links from your past, whether it be your past self, people from your past, thought forms, actions, anything like that. You've rid it. You don't entertain that anymore. You're not that person anymore. But energetically speaking, there could still be these layers of links and cords connected to you, connected to that past self, connected to that past thought form, even the people. Now you even have to, this is like, the people is something that's coming up very hard, and this is a lesson I found with myself. Like, even just like keeping that, you know, and I mean like past self, like years ago, where it's like what caused you to evolve, to ascend, to bring you to that higher space, that place of consciousness. Those things that you wrote off, those people you wrote off, those like, all right, got love for you, man, but peace. Can't do it. You're a weight on my journey. We've cut cords from people like that, old relationships, friendships, family relationships, especially because there's a even deeper link there. So now, as much as we believe that we've cut cords, this plague has happened to help us see where we're still infected, energetically speaking. So this plague is highlighting the parts of you that are linked to other people. Now, these links to other people, you might not hate these people. That's my whole point exactly, on why you might be blind to these links and cords that are created by them. Because you don't have an ill intention, or maybe you're waiting for them to up level on their own, and then you'll kind of, okay, because you felt like maybe they could do it on their own, or you feel bad and you don't want to fully disconnect. That's not healthy for you or them. So this energetic plague has been doing nothing but highlighting those, like, think of it as like a smoke screen. Like, the smoke is being blown around, like, okay, this is a good example. When in the movies, when they rob things and they do the smoke so they can see like the security lines, the red lines and all that stuff, so they don't get caught. This is what this plague is doing. This energetic plague is doing that for you and your etheric realm that's around you, your auric field, everything. It's being highlighted. It's showing you the holes in your aura. It's showing you the links that bind you to people, clients, family members, business associates, bullies from school, whatever it may be. There's things that you may have worked through, healed from, and experienced and evolved from, but there's still these almost microscopic, almost invisible cords still linking you. And this is how you want to know how you can tell? Is because they're still grabbing at you. Or you're feeling drained in certain situations when you're around them, when you think of that, when the subject comes up in your mindscape and you just feel so drained and you don't want to deal with it. You need to take a breath, step back, and think about why. Why are you feeling that? Why is there so much dread with dealing with this situation? Even though you never cut this person out, it's really about people. It's family members, it's friends, it's old relationships, it's old friendships, it's old interactions, people that cling on to you in ways, or maybe you clinged on to in ways because you felt bad. You need to release that. This energetic plague that's been happening, it's causing so many people to be very drained, not know where their direction is. They're blinded by the smoke, because I feel if it's not dissipated yet, if you're not seeing these links, you're still not believing that these links exist. Okay, so it's all about boundaries. You can't create boundaries if there's energetic holes in your aura. You can't create boundaries if there's this string-like link that's still tethering you to somebody else, that's siphoning your energy. So a good example of this is a person that maybe, you were close to before your expansion. You both still have a good rapport, we'll say. I don't know why this music keeps coming on. Makes me think of the sea shanties. Anyways, so basically these like hair, like literally think of like hairs, or like fishing line, because it's invisible and you can't really fucking see it. So it's like harder to know if it's there. Oh yeah, this isn't happening. What's going on with this? Sorry, 1 second. I have 2 computers going. And I hate when they suggest music. I'm like, who wants that? Give me the music I like, the thumbs up stuff. But anyway, so there's these invisible, almost think of like fishing lines attaching you to another person. It's even the family members. The family members that because they have a title as your family member expect you to fully be accessible to them whenever they want. That's not healthy. You have your own energy, they have their own energy. It should be contained. They shouldn't be siphoning from yours. You shouldn't be dreading the connection because of their intention behind it. Same with other people, business people, coworkers, whatever. If you feel this pull from them grabbing at you, still trying to utilize your light as a source of their energy. So your energy ends up being like a battery for them, and it's not cool. This is something I've noticed, and I feel like, and I've been channeling way more that this plague, and why a lot of people, I know that there's a lot of people in the spiritual community that are like, I don't know what's going on, I can't move, I can't get out of bed, I can't do anything. Think about it. What makes you so drained? What makes you so lethargic energetically? A cord that's attached to you. If you're doing cord cutting and you're not knowing where its origins are, how are you going to fully cut that cord? This is the necessity at this time to understand the perception of that, I guess. I mean, we all will always have work to do. It's never ending. That's how we evolve. We evolve past the last, I always consider things like martial arts. You don't just jump into the black belt, man. You got to work to it. So what I'm trying to say here is be aware. Like those weird feelings you're feeling, those empathic heightened feelings of like depression, sadness, anger, all these emotions that are stirring in you that are amplified, they're amplifying for a reason. So we're energetically up-leveling to the fact that telepathy is the new empathy. We need to embrace that, I feel, as someone who is an advanced empath. I think that it'll benefit us because the more we submit to that, I'd say as somebody just learning that they're an empath. So even if you're an empath and you're understanding this, you almost feel like your wards came down, like your barriers, your boundaries came down because we're amplifying, almost think of like in a broader spectrum of the etheric layers. Like think of it as going through like even the like looking at it through a microscope, okay? So what this is allowing, what we have to go through is shedding even more layers. Collective shamanic death. This is what this energetic plague is to me. A collective shamanic death. It's forcing people to rid things of their past, self, surroundings, actions, and move forward without them fully. Because we're going into a shift right now that if these things are still attached to you, it's really gonna fuck you up. It's gonna slow you down energetically. It's gonna keep you on paths that probably aren't the right one for you. I like to think of the winter, the hibernation time as, when we're navigating our next steps, when we're understanding where our path is going to take us. So I feel like I unconsciously, like my body energetically pushes through a shamanic death through the winter time without even realizing it. And I come out about this time. It's pretty interesting. I'm noticing a lot of people asking if others are feeling certain feelings, and yes, everybody is. It's a collective thing. Our energy is being douched in more ways than one. There's things out there that are trying to tamper with our energy and our DNA and our abilities. You can read between the lines with that one. Just saying. It's time for us to be aware and open our perception. Our perception is the key to expanding our consciousness. If we can't perceive things on a different level, how are we ever going to evolve? So I guess what I'm asking here now is to be aware of your surroundings, be aware of the people that are feeding off you. Energetically, people are feeding off you. That's what this lack of energy is. These underlying cords that are still lingering from past family. It could even be the astral plane. Like if you're so look at it too as well as if, and I'm not saying don't mourn a loved one, don't connect to the loved ones that are passed on, but you also have to think about their energetic status when they passed. And I'm saying this because I know a lot of people that passed, and communicate with them often, and they show me signs on my path. But there has to be a boundary there so that energy also doesn't leak to you in this, because it's very possible. Open the perception. So I'm trying to get people to grasp the fact that our energy and our energetic atmosphere ecosystem is evolving at a rapid rate. The planet is moving so fast that we lost a millisecond of time, which I think linear time is not existent. I look at things as cycles and seasons. So I think that's kind of to put fear with a lot of the other things that are going on around. But don't allow that fear to absorb you. Don't allow the energy that's linked from others or past things to stop you from moving forward. That fear is what is like, even the fear of confronting them and creating the boundary. Don't fear that. And I feel like I've done that myself with kind of ignoring and pushing things to the side, like, they're harmless. No, they're not. They're still feeding on your energy. There's a lot of people waking up through this energetic plague, I should say, that they don't really know what's happening, but their soul understands that they're going through an advancement. So they're kind of unconsciously reaching out to people like myself and others that have expanded in the community, or not even, like, just expanded their souls, their consciousness to a different level of 3D thinking. So when you advance to the 5D and further, people, old energies, not even just people, actions, habits, they come back, they linger. They're like, oh, but are you? Or, ooh, I like how light you are. Let me go see what that light is. I noticed with myself, I'm just speaking with myself, not even this transmission video, of people that I have distanced myself from for my own benefit of my energy. I have cut cords to an extent, with some, and then why I explained family members as well. Don't dismiss that. I'm not talking just about friends and relationships. I'm talking about family members too, because, sometimes family, the word family, gets us linked in and repeating cycles of karmic lessons. Sometimes you have to be the one to create the boundary to stop that karmic cycle from happening. And the only way to do that is to do it differently. So I'm also experiencing and seeing that you'll see the parts of you that are stuck in these shadows, like, even your behaviors and things, or things that you've worked through are really going to show up in your face now, in your surroundings, in these people that are still linked to you. So you're almost going to take on, and this is why I'm saying the energetic empathic shift is massive right now, is that you're taking on almost the behavioral patterns, thought patterns of these people that are linking to you because they thrive in some way off your energy. They feel calm or at peace when your energy's around. But it leaves you in a different state, which they don't understand. So with this energetic empathic shift, it's really important to understand the equal exchange of energy. What is given to you should be given, what you're giving out should be given back to you. It should be healthy. It should be able to disconnect and not drain you. It should not siphon your energy. The problem here is that a lot of people are waking up and they don't understand boundaries, energetically speaking, and then they just invade them very invasively. And even the thought process, the thinking about the other person, because they have this wonder, or because maybe you haven't set correct boundaries with them, that they're telepathically, empathically linking to you. So now it's causing you to not see through this dust. You're not being able to see the steps ahead of you because that is lingering over you. So you want to get that, you want to sweep that shit out. You want to get that, it's like a block in your communication, even with your source, with you and source. It's blocking your advancement because their mental process isn't strategized as your consciousness is. Does that make sense to anybody? If you're not watching, I don't care. If you're watching later, respond. But my point is, like, if their mental state is at a different level or lower vibration than you're working at right now, and you're trying to move forward and they're linked to you telepathically, don't you think that's going to infect your thoughts? I'm trying to help people understand that veil between that, the boundary veil. It's no more unless you create those boundaries. It can't be like, oh, I don't believe that, it's not going to happen. Do you see me? No. Ridiculous. I mean, I guess when you believe it, you give it power, but when you're also dismissive of things is when it really starts to affect you. Discernment is like the key right now with telepathic discernment. Like, I mean, telepathic invadement happens. People remote view. Like, I've heard people talk about remote viewing celebrities, and honestly, that's invasive. That's a problem. Now, think about the people that actually work with magic and remote viewing that are jealous and envious or even thrive off somebody else's energy, and they try and do it, and you don't realize what they're doing. That's not safe. Discernment, you know? You got to understand the energies that are linking to you. You know, right now where that telepathic advancement is so heightened that even just thinking about somebody, you're linking to them. So if you don't up those protection boundaries, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I'm not trying to tell people what to do, but I'm like, it freaks me out. I've been noticing it happen not just with myself, but other people. And it's disturbing. And then even setting the boundaries with the people I know that have linked to me still can't process that perception. And they just crumble and just don't understand. But you have to remember it's not your problem to help them understand. That's their lesson here. Your lesson is to understand the perception of yourself, and then that will help you see the surroundings. You won't have an illusion over it. There's so many people believing the hype in the illusion that's being created out of fear, and it's freaky. So the energetic plague. This, if you're sitting around not doing, not motivated, not understanding what's come over you, you know, reach out to somebody, talk to somebody. I really a few weeks ago I was having a discussion with somebody, and this is really what was making me want to do this more, because it freaks me out. It scares me, not only because of, the invasion part energetically, but there's people that are going through this and experiencing this and not understanding, or even understand energy in general. So the problem with empathic feelings, especially if you're taking on spirits, energies, or whatever, people, negative people, and you start thinking they're your own, there's a lot of depression. Now, I began this video and said that 2 years ago I started prophesizing things that have been happening. And apparently certain things, 2-year mark I have, and I literally called it the Great Depression. We're in it. This plague is it. The Great Depression. Not so much financially, but energetically, spiritually, and humanity-wise. When the mind is depressed, it's very difficult to advance. When the mind is weak in that sense, and I'm not saying depression makes you weak, please, we've all gone through it, but my point is, I'm not trying to find a solution in it, I guess. That Great Depression, that no need to look for something brighter. That's what I mean by that. That what I was foreshadowing was the collective just giving up on things, submitting. And it's scary because, when I was really pushing more to do this video a few weeks ago, I was talking with somebody, and it was like, in 1 week, 3 people jumped off the Jamestown Bridge. All different ages. What was going on? Never, and I know it's like check on your happy friend type thing. We get it. We understand things happen, but what I'm trying to express to everyone out there is that an energetic plague is like I don't know. I guess this is meant to douche out the layers of the 3D. So it's almost advancing us without us wanting to be advanced. So that massive shift of energetic empathic emotions is kicking in your telepathic abilities. So that's very, you know, practice discernment. That's what I'm urging people now to understand discernment. Don't think everything is bad, and don't think everything that you're channeling is good either. Don't think your thoughts are all bad. Step back, breathe, try to assess, think about where those thoughts are coming from. Are they your thoughts? You know, somebody that may think that they're not an empath, never have thought they were an empath, but may be experiencing levels of that now. Question it, write it down, journal it, express why you may be feeling this. Reevaluate it. Choose discernment, because then you can understand which are yours and which are not. If you're feeling down and out in a time of like distress, or like you just don't understand what's happening, you got no motivation, no energy, your energy's constantly drained, you're doing healing, you're doing clearings, and you're like, why am I still drained? Think about the links and the cords that could still be lingering from your past, whatever it may be. Actions, thought forms, people, old relationships, family relationships, friendships, business relationships, any kind of type of relationship, acquaintance, neighbor, whatever, you know, it's time to understand where those links are, because you need to sever them for good, because they almost will solidify if you don't. They're just going to keep you like an elastic band, just pulling you back, pulling you back, pulling you back. And we don't want that. That's not how we advance. So I'm here to just let you all know it's okay, and you can get through this. Your soul's been through many lifetimes and many crazy things, and you're here to evolve even more. So I guess what I'm hoping all can take from this is that go internal and take a lesson on boundaries. Boundaries within yourself towards others, boundaries from others to you. Don't allow others to siphon your energy. The only way this is going to stop is if you stop it and become aware of it at first, because if you're not aware of it, you're never going to see it. Please be aware of the people that heal, but it almost feels like it's draining you as well, because that's not good either. You know, you might need to try something different. As we evolve, our techniques evolve. They change. You know what I mean? So like, and it's not that you can't go back to it. It's almost like you're evolving, so like the same things aren't going to work. If you're clearing and protecting and then it's still not doing anything, all right, why is this not working? Okay, let me reevaluate this, change this around. Okay, that cord, that link's still there. Oh no, you'll notice it. You'll notice it. I'm telling you, please listen to this and realize. Take a look at it. Expand your perception, your horizons of the way you're thinking with energetic boundaries. You know, make sure they're only for your highest and best, because feeling bad for another and not trying to fully cut that cord, or just because you don't want to hurt their feelings, it's gonna hinder you in the long run. So, and you're basically saying, I'm not allowing my own energy to exist without others in it whenever they want. What you're thinking and putting out to the universe is happening rapidly. The telepathic link, that's what's putting it out there. You think, you become. So I'm just here to warn you all and hope that you can heed the warning and understand it. Or maybe it's kind of putting an eye-opener on things that you were already feeling and you weren't sure. Like the I don't think it's bad. I don't think this energetic plague is bad. I think if you dismiss it and don't understand why that smoke is still lingering around you, the dust hasn't settled completely, there's things that you haven't finalized. There's layers of yourself that haven't fully died off. There's dead roots that have not been pulled out. You know, if these lessons are coming into your life, these people are still continuously coming into your life, or mirror images of the lessons that you've learned, if you're not seeing them for what they are, you're just telling the universe, it's okay, pull this energy from me constantly. I want to be this reality. So instead of asking yourself why other people do things, ask yourself why you allow them to do it to you. Maybe you haven't set boundaries. Maybe you haven't, you know, don't feel bad anymore. Because if this is happening energetically, if you're being siphoned, they're not feeling bad for you, they're just thinking about themselves. So take that into consideration. I know that's a big lesson I have, especially with the family members. I'm sure there's one watching now, but I mean, I said it. Boundaries. Boundaries. There's expectations people have just because you're like nice to them, and that's not right. And you need to be aware of that and set clear boundaries, whether it's just vocalizing energetically, writing in a journal, or actually physically telling the person. It has to be done. I feel like that's the only way the dust will fully go away. And what is it, Pigpen? Yeah, Charlie Brown. I said in like probably transmission video 9. I don't even know. I'm guessing. But I said, be aware of your perception of self, because there's going to be people around you that have like a Pigpen energy. There's dust all around them, and it's going to invade your energy and go all up in there and get you all sidetracked, shockwad, whatever you want to call it. It's going to fuck up your path. It's going to fuck up where you're moving to. It's going to delay the inevitable. Delay your fate, your destiny. So, put your plague mask on. Discern between the energies and cut out what doesn't serve you fully this time. Because new people will enter into your life that mimic those old people, or will also be like a mold of those people, like multiple in one. And that's like, yo, you better pay attention. You better cut this out. Don't even entertain it. Don't fucking allow it in your reality. Because you cut it out once before. Why not again? But I'm going to go enjoy my soul's day. Day of the sun. The goddess soul. It's a lot warmer than it was this morning, so I definitely need to take this hoodie off. But I hope you all have a beautiful soul's day. Whatever day you are watching this. I hope you can understand this message and it resonates with you in some way. And if so, please share. And I guess all I'm asking for everybody to do is kind of open your perception. Maybe, you know, perceive how others are advancing with their actions and their communication. And if you're stepping back without emotion, you can understand why it's bothering you. You can understand whether it's a reflection of yourself before or a reflection of someone from your past from before. So I guess that's the big question, is like, where is this coming from? Why is this showing up again? Just be ready to sweep that dust away and get it out of your life for good, because we're ready to up-level into an amazing time. And I'm very happy to be here. So let's try and flip the script and turn it into a positive. Happy cord cutting, everybody. Peace, love, and blessings. Bye.